What is up, YouTube? We are back with another podcast episode for you. So today we're going to be discussing some different topics, and hopefully you enjoy the information that is thrown around.
So the topic I want to talk about today is reverse dieting. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, as long as I've been in the fitness space, I never fully understood reverse dieting until recently. And I feel like that's one of the things that you don't ever think to discuss because you think it's like common knowledge. And I find that weird because like we've been doing fitness together for like 15 years. And I don't think it's anything we've ever like actually discussed back and forth. Like, you might have told me something, and I probably didn't listen because I didn't know what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, sure. I want your perspective and thoughts about reverse dieting. So, start with explaining to me, like, I'm 5 years old, like, someone who's never heard of reverse dieting, what it is. Like, in, like, super simple...
It's essentially the opposite of what people refer to a diet as. So like when you think diet, you automatically think lose weight.
Restriction.
Yeah, you're cutting calories. You're gonna drop weight by not eating. So reverse dieting is the complete opposite of that, where you're going to increase your food intake. So you're gonna increase by a small amount of calories so that your metabolism can catch up. It can start to move again. Like you, when you restrict for so long, you're not eating. Your metabolism has slowed down because it isn't required to metabolize any food. So when you're doing a reverse, it's just allowing your metabolism to ramp back up to like a better position so that long term you can eat a little bit more without just constantly gaining weight, or you can actually cut down in a healthy manner. So, you know, most people tend to go on a diet, crash diet, don't eat, and then they come off it and they continue to like just like jump on another crash diet and then come off it, and they'll just constantly yo-yo. So like your metabolism is just like taking a kicking. And that's why like most of the time when we would take on new clients, whether they were lying about their food intake or not, intentionally or not, would always be my first reaction is we need to increase their calories.
Yeah.
Because for me, the last thing I want to do is if they tell me that they're only eating 1,800 calories, the last thing I want to do is throw 1,600 calories at them, say that's what you have to eat. Because if they were only eating 1,800 calories, to drop down to 1,600 calories is gonna be like you're not eating anything. Like it's so minute amount of food that you're gonna be miserable. But now you're slowing down your metabolism even more. When like normally you could be eating 2,400 calories.
So anytime you hit a plateau, your body just gets efficient enough to work with what you've fed it.
Yeah, your body's always trying to hit homeostasis. So we're always trying to like find that just like middle ground, the easiest point to just maintain. So you're not burning and you're not gaining. So yeah, so eventually when your metabolism catches up to that 1,600 calories, well now you have nowhere else to go but to burn an extra 100 calories or to cut out an extra 100 calories.
To eat 100 less.
Like, so now you're trying to increase your energy output, but you haven't fueled your body, so you're going to feel like garbage. Or you're going to restrict, and then you're going to have less energy, and then you'll lose for a little bit, and then you'll just plateau again, and then it's like you only have so much room to play with until you're literally just starving yourself to death.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of touched on it, but who would benefit from a reverse diet?
Anyone, I think, that is starting out in fitness. Literally, like anyone, any beginner, I feel like, instead of like, even like, I mean, obviously you want to try to find like the maintenance. So like find that beginning point, but like the beginning, before you start cutting calories and you put yourself into like a vulnerable position where like, okay, like if you're cutting calories, like chances are you're going to be weaker, you know, you're more likely to get injured. Like there's a lot of factors that can like impact it negatively.
Yeah.
Whereas
for sure.
like if you can by all means like maintain, or you can reverse diet, not even reverse diet, but like you're essentially just like eating in a caloric surplus. So like you're on a mini bulk, because I don't want to just like refer to it as like, I don't know, just reverse
bulk
dieting.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's like it has a purpose just beyond like getting your calories up so you can diet again.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for
Like,
sure, for
like
sure.
It's to find that like healthy, and like if you are in a slight surplus, like you're getting stronger, you're building more muscle. Like there's so
I imagine
many...
a lot of your just normal bodily functions start to perform better.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Like you're essentially like you're putting your body into like a more anabolic position, as opposed to like when you start cutting calories, like now you're putting yourself in a more catabolic position. So like if you were to cut calories and do absolutely nothing and not even initiate that like muscle stimulus, then it's like you would wither, like you would get weaker, you would shrink. Whereas like if you were to be in a surplus, like you're just gonna feel slightly better. Obviously that's like a small surplus and not like a dirty bulk where you just like
for sure
crank it 1,000 calories and just get super overweight. And
okay, so some of the signs of reverse dieting, so this is even proves my point about like just bodily functions and like every day. Because the less you're fueling your body, the more efficient it's getting, and it's doing the bare minimum once you're down to 1,000 calories. So signs that you should reverse diet, so not just a specific demographic, but like poor digestion, low energy, feeling tired all the time, bad recovery, poor sleep quality, constantly having cravings. Like I feel like 90% of anyone you talk to is feeling more than one of those. Like I feel like it's literally everyone should do this at one point in their lives just to see where they're at. So how do you do it? Like you mentioned increasing small. How small and how often?
I would say it depends on your time frame. Like you could literally like you could increase that by like 50 calories every week or month.
It varies like, based on how your body's responding, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, essentially, like, your timeline. Like, what is your goal with this, right? Like, if you are so malnourished and you're so skinny that, like, you're missing your period. Like, it's literally throwing your menstrual cycle off.
Yeah.
Because you're so deficient in nutrients and like that,
because it's literally your body telling you you're not healthy enough to have a child. Like you're not healthy enough.
If that's a scenario, obviously you would want to increase a little bit faster, right? So like that being the case, but like if you are a bodybuilder and you're in your off season, and like again, like with that one, it's a little tough because like they might have different goals too, where they need to try to gain way more.
Yeah.
But like if you're essentially like you feel like you're in a competitive position right now, but you just need to add that size on, then why wouldn't you just like main gain or like go through that reverse diet where like you're, instead of cutting calories or maintaining, like you're putting yourself in a slight surplus of like 200 calories. 200 calories a week or a month.
It's funny because I didn't write this down because I hadn't heard it yet, but I like saw somewhere else that it's really controversial if you can quickly reverse diet. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are like, either yes, 100% you can successfully quickly reverse diet, and the other 50% were like, absolutely not.
So which 50% are you?
I think it depends on the person and the goal.
So
like if you want, like exactly what you said, like if your hormones are completely out of whack, and you want to do it for like the like internal health, like the overall health, then no, I don't think you can successfully do it quickly.
See, like,
but if you want to do it just to be able to cut again, I think sure, go for it.
Well, like, even that, like, you're putting yourself, if you're going too quick, you're putting on extra fat.
Yeah. So then you'll have
to, like,
sure,
you're putting on extra fat because you can only build so much, and each person will vary a little bit, but like you're only able to put on so much muscle. Like, it's not like it's just gonna all, like, I'm gonna increase 2,000 calories and 2,000 calories is going to build me more muscle. It's like, no, you're gonna get fat. So like, so when it comes to like dieting again, yes, you're getting your calories up again, and eventually your body will hit homeostasis where it is now stable, but how much fat did you put on? Did you put on 10% body fat, and now you're going to cut again, and you're going to essentially be able to, by the time you get back to your calories, you're going to essentially have just dropped that 10%.
Yeah.
So it's like
yo-yo dieting.
Yeah, you're yo-yo dieting on a competitive level.
Yeah. Oh, that makes it sound 100 times worse.
It sounds terrible.
It is. It really is.
But like, yeah, like literally, like I think about like every single client.
Okay, I have to cut in. How do you have this conversation with a new client? Because I think about some of the middle-aged women that I've trained in the past, and they're just at a time in their life where they've probably dieted for the past at least 20 years, nonstop.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you tell them, hey, I'll work with you, but for the first 6 months, you're not going to lose a single pound?
Here's this situation that you can get yourself into. So I see it as like there's two paths you can take. You can give them what they want quickly, right away.
Mm-hmm. Which is what every trainer does.
Middle-aged woman that comes to you for training wants to lose weight.
100%.
Wants to lose weight. They never come in and are like,
whether they admit it,
on some weight. Like, like obviously there are those outliers, but like the main portion are they want to lose weight. They want to like get back into their like
or like tone up, which they don't realize is the same thing.
And so you can give them what they want and get them cutting right away.
Yeah.
You can get them on a diet and restrict. And you can give them that, and while you're doing that, you build that relationship to the point where they're gonna now trust you enough.
I don't know.
To allow you to reverse them back. But now they just wasted months.
Yeah, they just set themselves back even farther.
Instead of reversing off the beginning and feeling amazing and during that time, like when you're training with them, like you're teaching them the movements, you're getting them stronger.
Yeah.
So like that's an empowering feeling. When you just cut them down, it's like it just makes everything so much more difficult. And so that's option 1. That's pathway 1.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's pathway 2, which is you tell them, like, you are under eating, and the way to get you to lose weight is by reverse dieting. And like, body composition will change so much on exercise alone and proper nutrition.
Yeah.
So even though you're eating a little bit more, like, now your body's moving better, you're pushing weight, you're stronger, like so
It's
many
utilizing
muscles
more
are
too.
being fired. So now you're building more muscle and you're really sculpting your body. And that's like, obviously, like, when I'm saying this, it sounds like a no-brainer to just go with option 2. But most of the time, they won't hear it. So they'll just think, you want me to gain weight? I'm going to get fatter?
Well, and I feel like this
it.
is how I've always perceived our conversations about reverse dieting.
Yeah. So what I do is I stick to my, I hate doing that cut. That's what makes me hate fitness.
Yeah.
That's the thing that, like, it's like, I don't want a personal train, because that is the most, it's the least fulfilling thing. Because it's like, I could get you to your body weight. I could get you there, but guess what? You're going to be miserable while you're getting there, and then you're going to be miserable while you're there. And then you're going to want more. So it's the least fulfilling thing I could possibly do. Whereas, like, if I don't hire them, I miss out on that chunk of pay.
Yeah.
I lose that money.
Yeah, but you have really good morals.
Yeah, I can't feel like I'm selling my soul.
Yeah.
Is the thing. So, like, if I'm gonna sell you something, I'm gonna sell you what I feel is truly the best option. And then it's like, whether you trust that, or you decide to go your own way, or you don't listen to me and you undereat.
Yeah.
That's your problem. Like all I can do is, like, offer what, in my opinion, is the best
option for that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. For me, it's, and I don't know, you're very, you'll track. Like, I have such a hard time committing to tracking, and I can't figure out why.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's probably not, like, it's just an excuse. It's not real.
It sucks. Especially when you like to eat real food.
Yeah. Packaged food is way easier to track.
So, like, you look at how I eat versus how you eat. And it's like I eat like a caveman, where, like, I need it to be very simple.
Yeah.
If I'm eating rice, there has to be rice made, or it's microwave cups of rice. That's, like, my only option. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to make this. Like, no, it has to already be ready.
Yeah.
So, like, I need to prep it ahead of time. And then, like, like, it's just like, everything is so bland and basic. And I'll just eat it, because I'm just like, I just need to eat it.
Yeah, and my goal is to, like, eat avocado toast.
Yeah, you go for, like, all of this fancy stuff that's, like, it's, like, multiple ingredients and multiple different things. So, like, tracking for you is a headache. Whereas, like, for me, it's like, tracking for me is, like, my way of eating.
Yeah.
It's like, here's rice, here's ground beef.
Yeah, like, you would eat leftovers 3-4 meals a day for, like, ever, if you could.
If I didn't have to make it, done.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, like, but, like, I think everybody should have a food scale. I think everybody should track. Not always.
Yeah, and the goal is not to do it forever.
But, like, to start out, like, just so you truly realize what a serving of everything is. Because how many times have we done things where we're tracking it and we're, like, mind blown that, like, that is what it is.
Or, like, when I remember at one point I was eating, like, oats, and I was preparing oats, and it says, like, a 1/4 cup or 50 grams.
Yeah.
And I like scooped out the quarter cup, like I zeroed out the cup and scooped it, and 1/4 cup, I don't know, maybe our measuring cups are crap, but 1/4 cup was like 75 grams.
Do you remember having this
conversation? Yes, I do now.
Where like
I do.
Where like you were like you blew my mind.
Yes.
Another you blew my mind.
It's like a core memory. We were literally walking the dog.
Yeah. Whereas like essentially because of gravity and time, the pressure compacts them. So now what normally, when it was like light and fluffy when they first packaged that bag, it has now settled and compacted down. So like now it's a more dense scoop. So like 1/3 of a cup could be freaking double, because it's just like depending on what that ingredient is, like depending on what that product is. So like so like 30 grams is your accurate measurement, which you need a scale for.
Yeah.
If you don't have a scale, you're going to use that measuring cup, and then you're going to overeat. You're going to overconsume by hundreds of calories.
Yeah.
So essentially you're like eating out of maintenance, and then you wonder why you're not losing weight, and then you drop calories more, which is also like essentially the opposite problem of what we have with like the majority of clients, where it's like they think they tell me they're under eating, but then like you review everything and it's like you're actually eating a ton more than you think you are, and you just haven't realized like how you're eating 3 servings of whatever that is. Like you don't even realize it. So like,
or they're like searching it, and it's like 8 ounces of steak, and it's coming up as like 40 calories. And they don't understand the value of a macro, like and what an actual serving looks like. So they don't know better.
Literally lists, like you search it, and then it has like a million different options. And like every single one of those, the calories are different, or like the serving size is measured different. So it's like, how do you know? And then there's people who just don't know how to read a nutrition label. Which like to us is like basic knowledge. It's like
my last client that I worked with asked me how to know how much protein is in a food. Like I was like, what do you mean? Like they teach our kids in grade school how to read a nutrition label.
Well, like our kids, I could ask Logan.
How
many grams of protein are in this, and he would be able to figure it out.
100%.
But again, that's because like they've watched us do this. They've watched us talk about this. We're conscious about when we're purchasing
and we're conscious.
We're like, hey, we should get this. This has like good amount of protein, good good ingredients, whatever it is. So like they see that, whereas like, so we're in that bubble where it's like everybody knows this. It's common knowledge. It's just like
not.
And then like
it's crazy.
I have it even worse because of where I work. So like everyone I'm surrounded by are also in the health and wellness. Like they know nutrition. So like they're all also conscious of this, and it's like my conversations with them are like basic to me, or like less than basic. And to the average person that would be like, what? That's how you do that? Like and like it's just some people are so like that's not their.
They're naive. They don't care. They don't prioritize.
They're naive. I mean, like, they just don't care. Like, it's just not a priority. It's like, I'm gonna eat what I want. I'm gonna live my life, and that's fine. But like, it's just weird to me because like obviously we're on the other side of that spectrum. So like, but like I can understand it, and I can understand the appeal. So I think I actually like was talking to somebody about this, where I was like, when we were in Long Lac still, and I was like, we were finally like gonna move. It was like I remember saying to you, like, I think I want to do something that is not related to fitness. You know, like I had been like personal training and we were doing online coaching and stuff. And I just always like, and like even before that, like working for CN and stuff, it was like years of like meticulous tracking and like working out and like tracking. Like I literally was tracking everything. Right? So like, I remember that point where I was just like, I just want to do something that isn't fitness related, where like I don't feel like, which is ridiculous because like people definitely weren't just like watching and judging me based on what I ate, but like I felt like I could go to a grocery store. It didn't help that we lived in a small town with one grocery store, but it's like I felt like I needed to watch what I was picking and eating because everyone was watching me. Like people were judging me based on because I had but like nobody would have ever. Nobody would have ever. And like, but like, that was like so tiring and exhausting at that point that I was just like, I just want to do anything else. Like, anything else. Like, I need to figure out, you know, but then at the same time, like, every time that I'm like, what do I want to do with my life? It's like fitness. Like, it's always health. It's always like in that boundary because that's just like that's the information that I can actually listen to and retain because it's so interesting to me. Whereas like we talk about cars and you could give me an hour lecture on cars and then you ask me to repeat that and I'm like 4 wheels on that bad boy. Like I don't care. And it won't allow me to retain it. Whereas like fitness, like I can listen to a video and be like, huh, that's interesting. And in my mind, I can literally picture on how to apply that to actual situations. Right? So it's like I can picture exactly how that works. But when it comes to other things like cooking, garbage. It stresses me out just thinking about it. But like,
good thing you're spoiled.
I know. God. Living off Kraft Dinner and grilled cheese.
Oh boy.
But, yeah.